I still remember the last time my dad kissed my forehead. His hand felt heavy, not just with age, but with the weight of all the unspoken words. He whispered, "Take care of each other. A house isn't just bricks and walls. It's made of relationships." At the time, I had no idea that years later, that same house would become the deepest wound in my life. When Dad passed away, the world went silent. That small house in Ohio where laughter once echoed was now just a quiet reminder of memories that weighed too much to bear. I was the only daughter, and my brother, my hero. When I came home from school crying, he would bring me chocolate. When someone picked on me, he stood up for me. I never imagined that the same person I trusted the most would one day betray me in the worst way possible. After Dad's death, everything fell apart. I was emotionally shattered, and that's exactly when the betrayal started. When the will was brought up, my brother stepped forward. He said, "Don't worry, I've got this. The house is ours 50-50. At that moment, I felt like maybe life wasn't so cruel. Maybe family really meant something. I trusted him blindly. Months went by. Every time I asked, "What about the paperwork?" he always had a new excuse. Sometimes he said, "The lawyer is too slow." Sometimes, "The court dates keep getting delayed." Other times, "You don't understand, the legal system is complicated." And I stayed quiet, because I thought, he's my brother. Why would he take what's mine? Then one day I found out the house had been rented out, and I didn't hear it from him. I heard it from someone else. For the first time, my heart raced in fear. It was like something inside me was breaking piece by piece. When I confronted him, he casually said, "It's temporary. Money was going to waste." "Why are you so emotional?" Emotional? That house was filled with my mother's memories. I could still hear my dad's voice echoing in its rooms. But to him, it was just a temporary decision. That night, I couldn't sleep. It felt like the ground beneath me was slowly being ripped away. Then, the letter came. A court notice. My hands shook as I read it. I went straight to a lawyer, hoping this was just a misunderstanding. But when the lawyer laid the documents in front of me, I froze. The house was entirely in my brother's name. My name was nowhere to be found. I said, "This is wrong." The will said it was supposed to be shared. The lawyer looked at me slowly and said, "Ma'am, your signature is here." I looked closer. The signatures looked exactly like mine, but they weren't mine. In that moment, I felt my soul scream, but my voice was silent. My brother, my own brother, had forged my signature and taken the house. That night, I didn't cry. I just existed. And maybe that's what hurt the most. I didn't know where to begin. The betrayal cut deeper than anything I had ever faced. Every memory of our childhood, every shared laugh, every secret we kept between just the two of us, suddenly felt like a lie. For weeks, I sat in that small apartment, staring at the walls of my childhood home through old photos. I couldn't believe it. The person I trusted most had destroyed that trust completely. Finally, I decided I couldn't do nothing. I hired a lawyer and filed a case. The first court date was brutal. Sitting across the courtroom from my brother, I felt my stomach churn. His smile was calm, almost smug. It was the same smile I remembered from childhood, but now it was terrifying. During the trial, evidence after evidence was presented. Emails, witness statements, the forged documents. Everything pointed to him. But seeing him deny it, seeing him lie with such confidence, it broke something inside me. I remembered all those small betrayals, the little lies, the excuses, the way he made me doubt myself. Everything added up. And yet, he sat there, looking like the innocent one. One day, after a particularly long session, I left the courtroom and walked to the small park across the street. I sat on a bench and cried, not just because of the house, but because my own blood had stabbed me in the back. I felt like an orphan in my own family. But then something shifted. I realized that my life wasn't about that house, or even about him. It was about me, my strength, my dignity, my voice. I went back to court the next day with fire in my heart. I demanded the truth. I demanded justice, and I wasn't going to let fear or heartbreak stop me. Finally, after months of exhausting hearings, the court ruled in my favor. The forged documents were invalid. The house legally belonged to both of us, as originally intended. I walked out of the courtroom that day, exhausted but victorious. I didn't feel like celebrating. I felt free. I decided to sell my share of the house, not out of spite, but because I realized some things weren't worth keeping. I wanted my life back, and I wanted to let go of the person who had hurt me the most. Even now, sometimes I think about my brother, about how someone who shared my childhood, my secrets, my family, could betray me so completely. And I've realized something important. Betrayal doesn't just steal material things. It steals trust, security, and the illusion of safety. But it can never steal your strength, your voice, or your dignity. I've learned to be careful who I trust, but I've also learned to forgive, not for them, but for me. To forgive means I am no longer a prisoner of the past. That house is gone, but my life isn't. And the lesson is clear. Family isn't always who you think it is, but strength is always inside you, waiting for you to claim it. I left Ohio that year. I started over in a new city, alone but not lonely. I met people who valued me, who respected me, and slowly, piece by piece, I rebuilt my life. And whenever someone asks me, did it break you? I tell them the truth. It tried. It really tried. But I didn't let it. Because some betrayals don't define you. Your response does. And I chose to rise.